Hey, and welcome to another episode of NerdCraft. Today, we're going to get to some terraforming, and a lot has happened since we last checked in. I have done some of that terraforming, or at least started clearing out some of the mountains, which you can sort of see in the background there. It's a little less mountainy as usual. We have visitor from some pillagers, and we took care of that. Now we're hero of the village again, and the wandering trader came by, but he just went somewhere. I'm not really sure where that is. Anyways, so I have been trying to clear out the area over here because we have some big builds planned for this area. We're going to be completely transforming this from a sparse jungle and bamboo jungle into something other than jungle because we have a ton of jungle nearby. So I've been working at this slowly, kind of chopping away at this mountain. But I still need to kind of come back in here and take more of that out. And then also been slowly, surely clearing out the area over here as well. Um, Trying to take down some of the bamboo, trying to take down some of well, most of these trees, because we're going to give this whole area a complete makeover. Um, yeah, and then trying to get some more grass to grow here, because I'm going to need a ton of grass for what we're going to be putting together. So let me go ahead and get back to work here, and we'll check back in once we've got this all cleared out. Well, it's been a while, about 6 days since that last clip, and I've been busy. So I've gone ahead and basically demolished this entire area. As you can see, we've cleared out a lot of the land, most of the trees. This is probably still yet to be cleared out. I've also been going through and terraforming a bit already. I've started some of it, and I still have a lot to do. And we'll get to the big build, of course, of the episode here pretty soon. But you can see I've started to kind of lay out the land a little bit. Really what I wanted is a variety of landscape to actually build our steampunk village at city village. We'll see what we get to. So that's what I've been working on. And yeah, so we have a lot more to go. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this clip, and we'll see what we end up with next. Well, okay, it's been another 3 days, and the landscape has changed quite a bit. I've been extremely, extremely busy. Uh, Let me tell you, there's a lesson to be learned here is that you don't terraform an entire island at one time. Piece it out into more manageable projects because I tell you, this has driven me crazy. So, right now, we're at a point where I have blended in the terrain that's around here with what I'm going to be designing. And if I haven't mentioned it already, it is going to be a huge mountain because everybody else has a mountain and I want my own mountain too. So I've gone ahead and cleared out all of the trees. We've added a bunch of landscape in the back here. I'm trying to incorporate some different biomes. Um, some of this stuff is inspired heavily by terralith. Apparently, I missed a hole here. So, uh, we're gonna have some different biomes here, and the mountains as well. Also, a block palette that I kind of lifted from terralith as well, and because I need to have the most immersive details ever, we're gonna have caves in the mountain, or at least there's gonna be a few caves, some minor stuff. I did want to show off some really cool stuff though that I did on the other side here. So, like I said, we've kind of got it blended up more towards the center area here, and we're gonna finish the rest in a fancy little time lapse. Gonna have to relocate the end entry because that is buried. But we have this really cool new canal that comes in from the river as well. So over here we have our ocean, we have the river that goes to our base, and then this brand new canal which comes along Kind of winds our way through here through some aqueducts and into this brand new ravine, which I think is just amazing. It took forever to get it to look right. Just constantly just tweaking things here and there. I think I've placed probably 60,000 grass already, and they've got a lot more to go. So yeah, here's our aqueducts. This log section right here, we're probably going to be adding a water wheel and some sort of powerhouse, maybe in this area. A lot of this landscape is just basically setting the foundation for where we're going to build some new buildings, which is why I wanted the varied terrain because it was just like completely flat and that was kind of boring. So now we've got this really cool ravine that kind of comes through here that's going to go up into sort of a little cave, well, not little, but decent sized cave. Um, and then of course a giant mountain. Um, but in order to get all that done, I have to have resources, and the resources we need are quite immense. So let's take a look. All right, so I've just gathered or started to organize my resources so far. So the green shulker boxes here represent grass that we're gonna need, and these need to be full of grass. I've started to collect that already. I think I'm about halfway there. So we're gonna have to fill that all up with glass. This is all gonna be filled with stone, which I'm pretty sure I have that already. The one thing I didn't have because it is a tall mountain and we're changing the biomes to be a little less tropical and a little bit more snowy. So we have, of course, our snowman set up here to get some snow layers, and this all goes through our collection system here. I mean, pretty standard design. Just trap a snow golem within these bars, position it on top of a slab here, and then you basically just aim at the corner, and if you hit it just right, you can hit all three layers at the same time. And you just hold this down until your shovel is about to break. Probably need to position myself a little bit better here. And then anything that you don't collect just ends up flying into these hoppers, which then feed down here. So I need 12 shulker boxes of snow layers. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot, and so I'm slowly been collecting that up. My shovel is already kind of falling apart, so rather than have you watch me collect all of these materials, we're just gonna go ahead and skip all that and jump into a time lapse and finish this massive build. there's one word I can describe myself feeling right now, it's probably exhausted. This took an extremely long amount of time. I think I was building this mountain right here and terraforming the area for several days straight. That time lapse itself took at least, I think it was 3 to 4 full days. And when I say full days, because I normally work, a day job and everything, but unfortunately, I've been off for surgery recovery, so I've been actually at home the entire time. So full days, that's a good 12 to 14-hour day just building on this thing. And it's massive. I mean, it is incredibly massive. It came out extremely well. I just don't want to do it again very soon. That's all. Um, so let's talk a little bit about the process to actually get us to this point. So when I was designing this mountain, what I wanted to do is, come up with a design that looked really cool, kind of snow peaked because, this whole area was basically jungle. Now let's sleep a little bit here so we're not mobbed by mobsters. Although there really shouldn't be any mobs spawning. I think I've spawn proofed pretty much this entire island. But anyways, yes. So snow-capped mountains. Now Minecraft doesn't have the best looking snow-capped mountains, so I drew a lot of inspiration actually from the datapack terralith, and terralith has some really awesome. I mean, it has a lot of awesome terrain in it, and one of the some of the big mountains that they have are kind of this combination of stone, you have cobble deep slate and cobblestone. And it just really liked how that looked. It made it a lot darker, a lot less just kind of flat. So let's try to fly around and take a look at everything here. It's really kind of hard to see the whole thing because it doesn't fit in render distance. So we have lots and lots, lots of snow layers, which was a massive pain to put in, but it looks really nice. There's a few different sides here, so I wanted to get a few different biomes mixed in here. We still have kind of a little bit of the jungle left over on this side. I kind of left it alone. So we have a little bit of a bamboo jungle and some of the sparse jungle. In the back here, I tried to kind of mimic the same style of I think it's called the Highlands in terralith. It's a lot of these kind of mix of grass, coarse dirt. There's a little stone in there, some diorite, little patches. Also, there's a lot of white terracotta. And then you have kind of these bushes along the ground, kind of similar to the jungle bushes, but in terralith, it'd be a different biome altogether. So that's what I kind of did. And then we have these kind of custom. I try to make them look very vanilla birch trees that sort of resemble, I guess, a little bit more of like not a pine tree, but it's kind of shaped like that. It's just a different shape than your typical birch tree. Instead of it being more round, it's more triangular or pyramid like, much like, like a spruce tree or something like that. And so I kind of like the way that looked in there. But yeah, so this side of the mountain, the backside, basically, I've kind of done a little bit more terraforming on. I did end up, hitting it with some bone meal. So we've got some grass everywhere. We've got, lots of different bushes in here. I really like how this is kind of, overgrown. And it just looks really nice. The reason I did the backside and not the front side is because the backside, I don't really think I'm going to be building much over here if anything. It's probably just going to stay pretty natural looking. And so I wanted to go ahead and just kind of fill it out a bit. Whereas the front, we're going to be building a lot of buildings and kind of our city there. And so I don't want to just terraform it to just tear it down anyways. And for the front, I'm actually thinking more along the lines of like maybe a dark forest, and not, of course, the vanilla dark forest. Once again, pulling a little bit from Terralith. I like their dark oak forests that are they're a bit taller. So like the dark oak trees, and I think we have some. Well, we're out of range of those, but we had some back there, and they're kind of short, stubby trees. They're obviously the 4 by or 2 by 2 trees, but they're very short. And so what I want to do is if I did end up putting a forest down here that kind of intersperse around the buildings that we're going to be building, it's going to have to be a lot taller than your standard trees. So I'll probably end up doing something like that. But yeah, so Mountain Big. And Mountain also extremely detailed in the sense that I wanted to keep this as vanilla Minecraft as it could. So that means we have caves in it. There's actually some Minecraft caves. So when I was designing the mountain, what I ended up doing is going into my test world there, um, flying out in some random direction, snatching some caves in a schematic, and then kind of coming in and subtracting the area within my build that I had set up. So, kind of carving natural shaped caves using the Minecraft geometry to be able to do that. Because I'm not a whole. I mean, I could probably make a cave, and some of these are really small like this. I need to find some of the bigger ones. Up top, I think we had some, and I got to be honest, I get lost on this mountain a lot. There's like a lot of caves in here, but I also forget where they are because Mountain Big. And let's see. I think we got one. Yeah, like right here. Okay, so here's a good example. So this cave goes down. Got our chicken in here, and it really kind of winds through here. You'll notice there'll be a lot of soul torches everywhere, and the reason for those is because I need the light. I wanted it to be dark, but I also wanted it not to melt the snow layers. If you put regular torches, it will melt the snow layers. So this cave you see it kind of goes into, I think these are called the Carver Caves, where they're that narrow and kind of diagonal stair step caves. So we have that. It kind of goes out here. This one's pretty nice. There's one though that's really impressive, and I gotta find the entrance to it. I think it's up top here, but there's some that really wind through here. A lot of them are just really stubby. They're just kind of little areas that you can, kind of discover, I guess. And then I can show you. Ended up moving the entrance to the end. Oh, here we go. I think this is the cave. Yeah, this is the one. So this one right here, we're at the top, and then we kind of work our way down inside the snow cave. Ooh, might have to move that 'cause that might melt these snow layers. Oh wait, no, there's no snow layers there. Never mind. All good. Um, I really need to make this so I can actually go through this. Okay, well, some work in progress here. I don't want to break anything. I'm gonna break. Just fly out. Ouch. Ouch. Let's see. Anyways, so that cave ends up going out to, I think, somewhere along the side here. I need to I need to beta test those caves a little bit more to make sure that I can actually walk through the whole thing without getting stuck. Um, Other fun stuff with the caves and mountain. Okay, yeah. So the end. So we've got our new end entrance. The portal entrance is right over here. So it kind of blends in naturally into the landscape. We just kind of go down here. We have our end banners, and there's the entrance that we had before. So, like before, you just drop on down, and then of course we got our end portal there. We can shoot back up, and it blends in with the surroundings. Fun, fun. I may end up doing a little bit more of this entrance to make it a little bit more noticeable. For now, we got the banners. And then what's inside the mountain? Well, nothing. It's hollow. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the mountain right now. I did take the opportunity to go ahead and create what I call the entrance to the Undermountain. So let's head on up here in our little man-made ravine. Well, it's not little; it's pretty large. And there is the door to the Undermountain. And it, oops, I forgot there's no rail there. Um, Even this doesn't render the whole thing because it is so big. But we've got lots of room for activities in here. You can literally just fly around the whole thing. It's all spawn proof, or at least it should be all spawn proof. I mean, we can just maybe an elytra course, I mean, there's lots of room for all that. Oop, out. Lots of room for all that kind of stuff. And then this also ends up connecting to a lot of the natural caves that were under everything. In fact, I actually, where possible, I tried to tie in the caves that I made, and you can see a lot of these just kind of all around. So it looks like inside of a Minecraft mountain a little bit. Sometimes, usually more full, but some of the caves, where possible, I did end up tying them to the actual Minecraft caves that are under the mountain here. But not everything, obviously, because it's a huge mountain, and I don't want to make some really long caves. I keep blocks, missing blocks. So still a few things to fix, but overall, I am very, very, very tired of terraforming. But very happy the way it turned out. It is fantastic. I just don't want to do it again for a very long time because I was driving myself crazy. I don't want to put more grass blocks down. In fact, kind of show you, we put a lot of grass blocks down. So let's see, times used 88,000 grass blocks. That's a lot. Now, granted, some of these were from building up the areas around my base, but like I can tell you, at least half of those were from this build. That's a lot of grass. That's a ton of grass. So yeah, and dirt and stone is just that. Take it from me. That is, don't make the mistake of just building an entire mountain in one episode. You got to pace yourselves with projects like this. I wanted to get this done right away because I needed to have the land in place and the terraforming done so I can actually start building the buildings. Because if I can't really build the buildings and then, I mean, I guess I could terraform around them, but it's much easier to just have it done and then terraform it, or terraform and then build the buildings. And so, because I kind of got into that mindset, I overscoped the whole project and made this really giant thing. But whatever, it's done. So I really hope that you are impressed by it because after all, we're here to entertain you, and projects like these, this is probably the biggest project I've ever done, period, in Minecraft. And I've done some pretty large projects, but not ones that have taken several weeks to actually build. Um, it's quite ridiculous. But I mean, you can't argue with the results. It is absolutely impressive, and I love this mountain. We need to come up with a name for the mountain. Put your comments down below and let me know what we should call this thing. Otherwise, I'm just going to call it done. And that's absolutely all the time we have left in this episode. So I appreciate you listening to me complain about building mountains, and I hope you enjoyed the final result. Next time, we're going to be sticking to actual buildings and probably building some more farms. So I hope you enjoy it. And at long last, I want to thank you guys again for all your support, all the great comments on the episodes. I really appreciate it. And I do read every single one, and I try to respond to everybody as well. So thank you guys once again. Safe travels. And I'm going to leave you with my favorite thing to do on this mountain, and that is to do the trench run. That's right. Trench run time. Ah, that's so much fun.